Oh, Henshaw here again, a constitutional kook friend from California. And the subject of today's video is how to win your case by invoking your rights. And this is true across the board. There's so much crap that goes on out there. And a lot of you instinctively know that it's not right. It's my job to fill in a lot of blanks and details and teach you why. And so we can go into their corrupt courts, aka administrative tribunals, with a real chance to get out of there in one piece. And that includes eviction, mortgages, child procurement syndicate, traffic court, criminal court, HOAs in particular, homeowners associations. It's all common. And once we understand that simple fact, it makes it easy to deal with. And the template documents I have will work in multiple settings. And that's a really good thing. So, that said, the first thing you have to understand when you get in there, you're not now, and you're never going to be in a judicial court. Yet we have the right to one from day one, according to the Constitution for the United States, to the extent that it's in full force and effect. And state constitutions, like the example of California, from where I am, the Constitution of 1849, and the Secretary of State here says it hasn't been repealed, guarantees that right to trial by jury and habeas corpus, both of which today have seemed to have disappeared like farts in the wind. But that's because we don't know the right way to go about things. They don't teach you a damn thing in the mandatory public education system. And attorneys will not make our arguments. That's something I hope to change here within the next year or so, because if that's all they listen to are their jackass state bar association attorneys, then they have to go in there when we engage them in a principal and agent relationship, not guardian and ward, principal and agent. And do what it is we want them to do. You'll have a paperwork, you get it to them and say, look at these issues with attitude and with authority. And you're required to do it. You have a sworn duty to do it. And get in there and take care of business. And they have to listen to these bastards, like it or not. Eventually, before I go out of here, I hope we can get it back to where we can walk into our own judicial courts and be heard with no problem. That's the way it was at one time. It's the way it should be now. In any case, by the way, send me for more information on email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com. And, we'll go over things and get you up to speed here. And you can then go in there and file. I've got a lot of different documents. I have non-statutory federal writ of habeas corpus for one, a non-statutory supremacy clause removal to federal circuit court, which is a judicial court. That's another one. And a lot of documents raising all the jurisdictional challenges that we make. Now, for more information, send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com. And I'll mention here, this includes, among other things, when I say there are no states and there is no 14th Amendment. That amendment, I've got an unopposed 35-page brief that spells it out for the ratification of what I call NEFLA, non-existent 14th Amendment, violated all 6 articles of the Constitution. And with no states, I have an 83-page unopposed brief. First 7 pages are nothing but citations to authority before you even get to the body of it. And the good news for all of us right now is, for the first time in arguably 90 years, we have a Supreme Court that knows a lot about what I'm talking about, and they are starting to act on it, not as quickly as I would like. And I get that. I'll explain that in another video, but they know. And for example, I know that they know we're in territories, not states, and that's a major big deal. And that's a big result of the 14th Amendment being ratified. And we'll learn all about that. Send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com, because what they think we are, and go figure how the hell they can do this. But the only citizenship they recognize, Section 1 of the non-existent 14th Amendment, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. are citizens of the United States, otherwise known where I come from as birthright citizens, with no right to de facto national socialist government is bound to respect. Lawful deserve just sanguineous state citizens and inhabitants of states and even inhabitants of territories have enforceable rights. That's what we want to have back. Because we get in a judicial court, and that's a default judgment. We're going to give them effective service of process, which they never do to you, but they're going to get a motion to strike every pleading they put in there, because when they have the burden of proof on jurisdiction and venue, when they're coming after you for your house, your car, your liberty, whatever it is, and they have an affirmative duty to prove it, they never even attempt to, even when we directly challenge it. So that's the big deal there. No standing, what we should get is a default judgment in the judicial court. And then we file against them if we have to, and I don't think we're going to have to, for multiple acts of treason that they have committed or they have caused other official actors to commit. And these are acts of treason, and this is a huge payday. They're going to pay us a lot to keep our mouths shut and to not file charges of treason, which I think we're real close to being able to do. And that's the good news for us, and we should have a lot of good news. I mean, after all, we're the ones that ordained and established this Constitution, which declare the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We own the place. Be nice to start acting like that and taking it back from them. And that's great out there for you and your family and your posterity to make sure they'll have the best possible life in the future. To learn more, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. And that's why I'm so excited. And here I am. I'll be 76 later this year. Life is ahead of me. That's how good this is. I just wish I would have known 60 years ago in Washington, D.C., my hometown, where I didn't learn jack shit about any of this. Better education, by the way, in a lot of ways than what you get now. None of this woke agenda in there or transgender BS, and now abrosexual crap, where you wake up one day you're a woman, the next day you're a man, the next day who the hell knows. All civil rights. 14th War Amendment, federal regional martial law rule. That's the agenda behind the scenes to finish the job of destroying our Republican form of government of defined and limited powers and replacing it with an elected despotism. To learn more, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. And in closing, I note that, like I so often can, I can prove a cappella off the top of my head in expert witness fashion, this being an election year for crying out loud. There haven't been any lawful elections since November the 5th, 1860. And the New York banksters damn well know it. It's about our time to get in there, get heard, get before a jury. We probably will never see one. I would love to, but they're going to give up long before then. That just can't happen. But we get our rights back and we get them recognized, and now life gets a whole lot better all of a sudden. Uh, and then, like I said, better for our children, our posterity. It can't get any better than that. And that's why we beat them in front of a jury that we're never going to see. But that said, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. Remember to like the videos, subscribe, tell your friends, get the word out. The faster we take action, the quicker we're going to get to the goal line here. Thank you.